Hello YouTubers, and we've made it to another episode. We've made it to Hump Day Yam Squad. Oh yeah, middle of the week. So let's get through it. Right, bit rainy, bit dreich, but the wind seems to be down and the water seems to be flat. Oh yeah. So, and I'm also wearing a Yam Squad top. Just still waiting on that packaging to get them sent out to all that ordered one. Oh yeah. And we had some little bit on my Instagram about Christmas merch for the Yam Squad. Let me know in the comments below if that would be something you're interested in. But now it's time to finish this movie, get changed and get trained. You're good. Great energy in the team. The Learn to Row pair have made it.
It's still learning.
On the off the water for another session. We have not flipped over, but the submarining is real. Oh yeah! But now, since it is taper week, like I discussed yesterday, we don't have much else going on today, and therefore I'm going to discuss a little bit. We've got another session, but I'm going to discuss a little bit about the trials system for all you guys that either want to trial or are from outside this country and you are curious as to what the trial system is. But first, as always, after a session you have to fuel up, because food is fuel. And we've made it into the crew room. We've got our breaded egg toast. We're going to fuel up. Oh yeah, and then we'll get talking about GB trials. And we've made it outside of the club. The rain has started. The packaging has arrived for shipping out the Yam Squad merch, the tees that I'm currently wearing, and then the Yam Squad hats. We're almost sold out of those, so head to the description for the link to the shop if you want to grab the last couple of the Yam Squad beanies as well. But we're going to talk about trials because they're coming up and what they entail. So like I've been talking about, the trials are to do with, there's a 2K on the rowing machine and a 5K on the water in either pairs and singles. But we'll talk a little bit more out of the rain once we get back to the house. Alright, let's get to it. And we've made it back into the house. We're at the vlogging creative station and I've got some new ink to get things sorted with the packaging. Got all of these Yam Squad shirts, getting them all set up. But like I just said, we're going to talk about the GB trials process. So you've got the two for the first trial, November trial, first trial of the year, first. You've got 2K, so that's usually on the Saturday or always on the Saturday. 2K on the row machine, 2,000 meters on the row machine, as fast as you can go. So 2K time trial. And then on the Sunday, the day after, you've got 5 kilometers, 5,000 meters, 5K in a head format, fast as you can go, A to B. So this year, well, there's singles. Well, every year there is singles and there are pairs, men and women. And while we're in this subject of singles and pairs, how does one become selected to row a trial in a pair or trial in a single? So for me, I don't do a lot of sculling. So I'm much, much, much better at sweep rowing than I am at sculling. So I go to that side. For some people, it can come down to if they don't have a pairs partner, so they go in the single. For other people, they prefer one or the other. But generally, we talk to the coach, and our coach decides which one would be most beneficial for us. And our coaches have decided for myself and Robson, the pair is probably the best idea for us to get a decent result. Fingers crossed. So that's how we get in the boats, or what boats we're going in. So we've got 2K and 5K, and then going off of, so for times wise, there's a cutoff on the 2K. You have, for the men, it's a 6:05. The open weight men, it's 6:05. For the open weight women, it's a 7:05. For the under 23 men, it's a 6:14. And for the women under 23, it is 7:15. And then there are different times for the lightweights as well. I'm not 100% sure what lightweight cut-offs are. Not going to guess. I know it's above 6:20, but I'm not sure how far above that. But there are different times for different categories. So you get your score on the Saturday on your 2K, and if you're an under 23, you have to go faster than, for a guy, it's faster than 6:14. And if you haven't went faster than that, if it's close, then you can kind of talk to the organisers of the trial or the head coaches of the GB system and say, look, I'm close to it. My water performance is going to be good, so let me do the water performance. But if you're too far away from the cutoff, that means that your trial is finished for the weekend. So you stop at the 2K. So luckily, I am able to do under the cutoff of 6:05. So I did 5:58 just on the weekend, and planning on going faster than that this weekend coming. So that hopefully should not be an issue. But it can be. 6:05 is a quick time. So some guys, 6:05 is their fastest and need a PB to get under that cutoff. So you have to go under 6:05 for the open weight man to progress onto the Sunday for the 5K time trial. And that is the first event of the trials process. So then throughout the year there are different trials. So the November one is a non-invite trial, so everyone can turn up essentially, and then you can progress through it. There is a trial in December, which is invite only. Usually that's at Caversham. So it's just people who have performed well throughout the fall, throughout the winter, throughout the autumn season, starting this winter season. And they get invited to another trial in December, which is usually some sort of rowing test. Usually in pairs and in singles, similar to the November trial, but it can be anything from some time trials, going up and down the lake. It can be some shorter distance stuff. So it kind of varies. That's why it's an invite trial. But then again, you get to compare yourself against other high performance people, just like the first trial, and then progress or see if you've progressed throughout the year. Then we head into the new year, and there are April trials. Depending on the year as well, there can be different trials. If it's Olympic year or not, there can be different times of trials. But usually there's a 5K cutoff for this next trial. And the 5K cutoff is for a man, open weight man, is, I think it's 16 minutes for a 5K. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm not sure what the women's one is, but I will put that on the screen now. And so you have to get those scores if you are wanting to go and compete at the April trial. And the April trial is really all about sort of, it's like the last trial of the year. So if you do well there, if you perform well there, usually as well, throughout the year, the squad athletes, so for example, this year, the squad athletes have barely begun training because they've just finished the World Championships. So barely started training, so they don't compete at the first trial. So you don't compete against all of the best athletes in GB until the December or April trial. But then when you come into the April trial, you've pretty much that is like the highest standard trial. Everyone's been rowing throughout the season, or sculling, or they're on the erg for the season, and then you have your, it's like April trial is side by side racing, usually 6 lanes, flying down the course as fast as you can, and that is sort of the trials process. So you have November, December, and April. Sometimes it can vary depending on Olympic year or not, which they can move the dates around just because you want to, say, go away on camp or whatever for the Olympic team or etc. But most of them are all based, you can only compete at the trial if you have the cutoff, especially for the 5k cutoff for April. And most of it is all geared towards sort of comparing yourself throughout the year, and also making sure that, and also giving people an opportunity or opportunities to show themselves to the GB coaches, etc. Because you're competing against everyone else. So if you do very well, it shows you in good stead. Just because, say, if you're in the A final, that means you're in the top 12. If it's the pairs final, you're in the top 12 athletes in the country. So it should kind of be like that. Top athletes of rowing the pair in the country. And so therefore you can say, okay, that is my standard, and it's really good for that. And then you can take that into the racing season, moving forward into the summer, and things like that. But that is it for today's video. Hopefully that's explained a little bit of the trials process. I know I've explained it a little bit before, but I don't think I've went into such detail. I think I went into detail anyway. And if you have any other questions about the trials process, especially since it's coming up, very applicable to this time of year, let me know in the comments below and I'll get to answering them. But Yam Squad, I'll get these shirts out to you. Get those hats in the link below. Almost sold out. If you've not bought them yet and you want one, they are very close to being sold out. And as always, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button, and have a good one.